let it be this is my client. This 2-3 clients are there. Along with one central server. This is the server. This is the client. 1, 2, 3 client and server is there. And that server is consist of one of the database. This is one workstation which consists of certain client server in the database. This is another workstation where the data is stored. And these two workstations are connected, let it be through the internet. It means that, sorry, this is internet. I just write www. So this is internet, and which is connected to this two workstation. The previous case was only a client server application where the data is stored on the server and in terms of structural manner. But now the data may be stored in the different location. Remotely we can access the data. So this architecture is now extended to the distributed database application. So now the data is distributed in the different server. So more than one server is there which is connected through the internet. So that workstations are connected through this internet. And these databases have the different locations. So if I say one database is stored in this particular server, one database is stored in this server at different location. This server may be at Nasik, this server may be at Pune. So distributed database we have to connect to the internet. So this is the particular system is called as distributed database, DDS, distributed database system. That we have to understand for this NoSQL. Previous system was just simple client server architecture where we can store the data on the server. Either we can post the data or we can get the data from this server. Now this architecture is extended to the distributed database system where the multiple locations are interconnected through the internet. So hope it is clear everyone what is the distributed databases and what are the advantage of this distributed database system. The first advantage is modular development. Just a minute. Fine. So the advantages of distributed database is modular development. Now, if I want to expand the system, if I want to expand the same system in the new location, we can use the distributed system. Already two architectures are there. We have to extend one more architecture easily in the interconnected system. So it's a modular development. We can easily extend the client server model. That is the first advantage of the distributed database. Second advantage is increased reliability. It means that we can easily access the data. If let's say this workstation is fail, another workstation can be easily provide the data. So it increase the reliability of the data. If one server fail, we'll get the data from other server easily. But in the client server architecture, it is not possible to get the reliability. Along with that, it improves the performance. In distributed database system, large database is stored at different locations. So that database we can easily integrate into one database. So it will improve the performance, increase availability. We can easily get the data. That is one more advantage of the distributed database system. Now, what are the disadvantage of this distributed system? कोई बता सकता है कि disadvantage क्या हो सकते हैं system के? The very first disadvantage of this system is cost. The initial architecture of client server architecture required a very less cost, while this distributed data system will require more cost because number of workstations are more and which is completely interconnected through the internet. So definitely we required more cost. Second, if you're 9 as a student roll number and having certain information in front of it. I'm not going to write everything here. So that 9 is unique for all the relation. अगर यहाँ पे कुछ modify होता है तो मेरे सब relation के अंदर वो modify होना चाहिए. If it is not modified, it means that I'm not going to achieve the consistency of the data set. And it is very hard to achieve the consistency, availability and partitioning in each and every database. But we'll try to attend it through this CAP theorem. तो पहले आपको समझना होगा in this theorem consistency, availability and partitioning. So first point is been focused on the consistency. We cannot achieve all these points in one data set. The reason behind it is that it's a NoSQL. Along with it having all the properties will be achieved in the same time. So sometimes it is quite difficult to achieve this three property. So but talking on it is expected that every system should have the consistency. So maximum consistency, availability or consistency, partitioning or availability or partitioning. Any two terms we need to be satisfied. So maximum two properties out of these three should achieve by the system. So we'll focus first on the consistency. So I think everyone is clear about these three terms. Now we'll first consider consistency. And what exactly the consistency? Every system is having certain rules, and that rule will be used in a sequence to update the system. So every system, whenever you go, you will find certain set of rules. When you use any system like college, they have certain rules, and we have to follow that rule in a sequence. It is not possible that when you took the admission for engineering, you cannot admit it in the last year, and then third year, then second year, and first year. We cannot do in a reverse manner. So that rule of sequence is mandatory in the database as well. तो जब भी हम database को operate करते, customize करते, at that time there is a certain rule of sequence, and we have to follow that sequence to update the database. That is the first property in the consistency. Second is the location. As I said, in the distributed database, different locations are there, and we have to maintain a consistent data in the different location. If I'm withdrawing the amount from Nasik branch from my account, the same data will be reflected in the Pune branch as well. If the different data is reflected, it means that I'm not going to achieve the consistency. Getting it? सबको समझ गया consistency?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
अगर नहीं समझा तो और एक एग्जांपल. फॉर एग्जांपल कोई एक एम्प्लॉय है, जिनको नहीं समझा कौन के लिए और एग्जांपल यहाँ पे. लेट्स से एम्प्लॉय नंबर 1 and employee number 2 in a bank. Both are following a certain set of rules to operate the customer accounts. The first step is that he need to read the account and then write into the account. What are the sequence followed by this employee? The same sequence should follow by this employee. Then we get a strong consistency in the database. If this employee will go with this sequence, then definitely will not get a strong consistency. We'll get it, but will not get a strong consistency in such a case. So make sure that the rule of sequence should be strictly followed for the consistency. So I think it is clear, consistency. Now the second point is availability. How the data is available to operate from remote location. So how we can access all the data at the same time. So availability of the data is also important. So in the distributed data system, whenever we send any request from workstation, and in let it be server is there, let it be this is server, this is database, this is complete workstation, and this is another workstation. Two different workstations which are connected through net. So www. And we need to availability of this database in the both location, from for this workstation as well and for the second workstation as well. So whenever you use any server to send a request from this workstation to this, then that workstation will send a response to the first workstation. Then and then the availability properties achieve. Otherwise, it is fail. And if I say consistency and availability, if consistency is not achieved, then definitely availability is also not possible to achieve. Getting it? If my database is not following this set of rules, then I won't get a response from the different workstation. So these two property directly we cannot achieve. If this one properties fail, the second property is definitely fail. And third one is partitioning of the database. So partitioning of the database is required when a system is get failed. So it may possible that sometime this workstation is shut down or this workstation is shut down. At that time, how I can access the database? So in that case, we have to partition the database of this workstation with the different workstation. So same database is available in other workstation also. If this workstation is failed, then we can get the data from other workstation. So that is partitioning tolerance of the data. So this CAP theorem is important in the distributed database system. There are so many advantages of this CAP theorem. The first advantage is that we can achieve the consistency. We can do the partitioning of the database easily to achieve the availability and the consistency. So this is all about the CAP theorem. Now moving ahead for structured and unstructured database, which is a part of this SQL. तो structure तो हमने देखा था पहले, structured data and non-structured data. So structured data is always organized in terms of rows and columns. So whenever the data is in terms of tables, that data is called as a structured data. Example, let's say student, college student system, or banking system. In that case, we can use a structured data. Only 20% of the data is in the structured manner in database nowadays, because structured data can be easily ordered and processed by data mining tool, while non-structured data is not possible to be reordered easily. But availability of the data is not every time in terms of structured manner. Whatever the data generated by the machine is not in terms of structured manner. For example, if I'm talking about sensor data, if I am talking about, let's say, heartbeat sensor, the data is not in terms of rows and columns. It is just in terms of textual format. Suppose the X-ray machine data, that is also not in terms of structured manner. It is always in terms of unstructured manner, or we can say non-structured manner. So such a data we cannot operate directly in the database. So we have to process in certain way. So I think it is clear that what type of data is structured and what type of data is non-structured. There is a difference between the structured and non-structured data is that structured data contain well-defined content. तो यहाँ पे rows and column में होंगे, so we can easily access the data and customize it. While non-structured data is not organized manner. As I said in the example, X-ray data, your email data is unstructured data. Suppose यहाँ पे हम example लेंगे, let's say hospital management system. This is patient, this is doctor, and these are the machines under the hospitals, and they are interacting with each other, but the set of sequence are not unique. If I am discussing with the patient in my own way, other doctor will discuss with that patient in their own way. So the different types of data will get. So this data is not easy to understand, while this data is very easy to understand because it is organized in terms of rows and columns. So if the data is organized in terms of rows and columns, we can easily observe and we can easily find the insights from that data. But if the data is not organized in the proper way, we cannot find the insight very easily. So the processing is not easy in unstructured data. फाइन, समझ गए दो डिफरेंस सबको ये स्ट्रक्चर और नॉन स्ट्रक्चर डेटा में?
सर मतलब नॉन स्ट्रक्चर्ड में फिर जैसे स्ट्रक्चर्ड में रोज और कॉलम्स में रहता है डेटा, तो नॉन स्ट्रक्चर्ड में किस में रहता है?
It is generally images. For example, certain set of images. I have, let's say, three applications. Let's say currency. So currency notes are there. This is the data. Currency notes, images only. Hmm? And let it be second application is, let's say, X-ray, patient X-ray data. So these are the images. So this is the data format for non-structured data. While structured data is in terms of rows and columns. Hmm? For example, any video, your YouTube video is which is a file of certain duration. So this is the type of data in an unstructured data. Now, if we can take the decision on the basis of this information, so it is quite difficult because we need to process each and every object. While here is very easy because scalar data, customer data, sales data, it is in the textual format in terms of rows and column, Excel data, SQL data. So we can easily process it. But nowadays, what are the data we have? That is not structured data. We have unstructured data and we have to process it to find the insight of the data. That's why NoSQL is must. समझ गए?
यस सर। बट सर एसक्यूएल में भी तो इमेजेस वीडियो स्टोर कर सकते हैं।
We cannot store the images. We can store the path of that image, C drive and something and all this thing like that. That is the one way that we can store data. Other way is that we can store the image in terms of pixel, but we can store at a time one image in terms of pixel. We can identify whether pixel is present in 1, if the pixel is not present in 0, and likewise we can store the data. So it is very difficult to store 1 GB data inside this SQL server. I have, let's say, 1 GB of images of either healthcare or either the currency. So that 1 GB data we need to be processed and convert into structured manner. So it is not required. ये फिर अलग से burden हो जाएगा for every application to convert that data into structured format. Why we have been convert that data into structured format? For example, मैंने decide किया I want to convert this data into structured format. Right now I have only 1 GB data, so I'm going to convert into structured manner. On the next day again 1 GB data is generated. So every time we need to convert it, and it is very difficult to convert this non-structured data into structured data. So what option is that what are the data we have, we you have to use this data in terms of NoSQL format and operate it, which is very easy. So if I have images, I can apply the machine learning algorithm on that images directly by using OpenCV or scikit-learn, and we can take the decisions rather than using structured data.
ओके सर।
और किसी को कुछ क्वेश्चंस यहाँ तक? So that now we'll go into the NoSQL.
नो क्वेश्चन।
Okay, just I'll clear this. Now what is this NoSQL? Now we will talk only about NoSQL. Now we'll shift on this NoSQL part rather than only SQL. As I said, it is also called as not only SQL, which indicate that it support other query languages like an SQL. Many languages, not only one specific language like DDL, DML. That is the first thing in the NoSQL. Also in NoSQL, it is not required column, rows, and schema. It provides the highly availability, reliability of the data along with the design simplicity because we don't have to be use a specific pattern for that. So it is very easy to operate. Now, why NoSQL? As I said, because we have to operate large amount of images and video data. So that's why NoSQL data is must. Now companies who use this NoSQL data, कोई बता सकता है क्या कहाँ पे यूज होता होगा NoSQL data set? Any particular organization that you know which is work on the images?
Shutterstock.
Sorry, क्या बताया?
Sir, there are many means
हाँ,
MongoDB.
there are so many. Like you people are using Adobe Photoshop.
Yes, sir.
That is one of the application of NoSQL. Second one is that Facebook. Suppose I want to conduct one course related to any technology, and I want to identify the target audience for that course. So I can do a marketing on a Facebook. So how Facebook will target the people through that images, through the interest of that person will identify. So it's a part of NoSQL. Might be the data in the Facebook is initial days in the SQL format, but the decision will be taken based on this NoSQL data. Google is also one of the prime user of this NoSQL database. There are so many companies that are using this NoSQL technology. So many browsers are also using NoSQL, because so many application we can test through this browser as well. Suppose I want to test, just a minute, मेरे पास होगा तो मैं आपको दिखाऊंगा. हाँ, Mozilla है अपने पास. So if you have this Mozilla browser, we can add-ons and we can add testing tool, in the add-on, and we can test the application before using it. Or suppose I want to use any particular website and whether that website contain any irrelevant data, that I can monitor through this web browser also. That is also part of NoSQL database. Now what are the different type of NoSQL database? यहाँ पे होगा तो हम देखेंगे. ये तो हो गया. कैप थ्योरम हमने डिस्कस कर लिया है. There are type of NoSQL databases. First one is key value store. Key value store. Second one is document store. One by one we'll discuss this type of NoSQL database. The first one is key value store. How we can store a key value. Already you people discuss, you know about this key value in the data structure, which consists of hashing technique, where we can store key and value. Sometime it may be used in the programming like dictionary. Similarly in the NoSQL it is used as a key value store. Second one is document store. हम देखेंगे डिटेल में एक्चुअली वो वर्क कैसे होता है. So do not be confused in the SQL and NoSQL. Many times student in the theory examination write the property of SQL into NoSQL and NoSQL into SQL. Many times they write the key value document store as a part of SQL databases, but in SQL DDL, DML, DCL is only the components. So document store. Third one is column store. And finally fourth one is graph. So these different types are not available in the SQL. So graph wise also we can extract the features of the particular data set. So these four SQL type of NoSQL databases are there. Every type of NoSQL database is having their advantages and disadvantages, and a specific application will be used for this type of data set. Every application we cannot use key value store. For every application we cannot use document store or column store or graph based technique. So depending on the type of data and depending on the outcome, we have to select this NoSQL database. Every time when we have a data, definitely it is now unstructured data. एक मिनट. हाँ सर. So depending on the type of data, we have to pick this NoSQL database. Once you identify the type of data that I want to use for key value store, then we use the specific type of NoSQL database. Every time we cannot use MongoDB, every time we cannot use CouchDB or Cassandra, DynamoDB. We can use every time. So ये भी आपको पता होना चाहिए कि कौन से डेटाबेस पे आप काम करोगे. So it not means that every NoSQL database required different type of database. तो ये नहीं बोल सकते यहाँ पे कि MongoDB हर एक के लिए यूज नहीं होगा, CouchDB हर एक के लिए यूज नहीं होगा, या फिर Cassandra हर एक के लिए यूज नहीं होगा. Every NoSQL database can be suitable for this all type of NoSQL databases. But to find the strong insights from the database, we have to select the proper ID or proper NoSQL database. The MongoDB is preferably used. CouchDB is also used. Cassandra is also used. These are some common NoSQL databases which are used in the many application. So now we will focus on this first type of NoSQL databases, key value store. For going to inside this key value store, is just draw a structure. Will not get the data in this format only. I'll give one example to understand the structure of this key and value. For example, this is the date. This is the value. So date is common for, let's say, 24 hours. Let's say today is 26 11 21. Let's say value is 20. After some time it will be 21 22 and so on. It will be increment or decrement, anything, and finally it's a 19. Different values are there. Date is common. This data is continuously generating. This data is continuously generating every day. After 10 days, I have 1 lakh of records. I have 1 lakh of record, and that record is not in terms of rows and columns. This is in the textual format. Like date value is the यहाँ पे date होगा, comma करके value और वो value होगा. Likewise, the data has been stored in the system, and now I want to find out how many time I get a constant value. What is the maximum value? What is the minimum value? But the data is not in terms of rows and columns. जैसे कि हम वहाँ पे aggregate function यूज करके data easily retrieve करते थे, data का value retrieve करते थे min or max. But in the textual format, which is completely unstructured, and we have to find out the insights. So that's why we use key value. So we have to convert this data set into key value so that we can find the key and we can find a value. So this date is my key and this is my value. Unfortunately here the value term is used same. So key and value. So based on this key, I can retrieve the value. So on that particular day, I can find out minimum, maximum. I can find out mean, median, mode, any particular operation I can operate through the key value. So it means we have to convert that data into key value format so that we can operate it. But the data received is not in terms of key and value pair. We have to convert into key value pair. And this is specifically used for e-commerce application only. So whenever there is an e-commerce application being used, that time key value store is used. So I think it is clear to everyone.
Yes, sir.
So we'll stop here. Any question you can ask? Okay.
No, sir.
Okay. So I think I shared the material on the Google Classroom. You can use that material. Along with, you have to complete the assignment as well for this subject, 6 assignments. I also share the DBMS practical lab manual up to 6 assignment. You have to complete that also. your attendance. Number one.
Two present, sir.
Three. Present, sir. Four. Five.